Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Precious. Right, so this video we're going to look at this problem. It says we should rewrite the hyperbola given by this equation in standard form. Hence, we should find the center, the A and B, and then the foci of the hyperbola. Okay, so now you recall that when we talked about hyperbola, we said that it can either be in general form or in standard form. So this one is given in its standard form and they're asking us to find, sorry, it's given in its general form and they're asking us to rewrite it in its standard form, and therefore from there we should find all of this. Okay, so how do we do this? Now to do that, you recall that for this to be in standard form, it needs to be of this form, right? So this is what we are interested in now. In other words, we will be looking for a way to make this to have two perfect squares this way, perfect brackets. Okay, so now to do that, we're going to be having a bit of a quadratic completing square method. So first of all, like what I did in one of my videos on circles, you gather the y variables and then the x also. And then in this case, we are going to have y squared, you can see, is alone. There's no other y here. But then for x, we have minus 36x squared and then minus 72x. Okay, and then the constant should come to the other side of the equation, and when that happens you will have minus 72. Okay, so how do we complete this? This one is already okay. So this is just where we have problem now. So what do? We bring down the one that is okay. And then for this, we are going to complete the square on it. So to do that, we will need to make the coefficient of x squared to be 1. And then in order to achieve that, we would have to factorize. So I'm bringing out 36. If I do that, I'm going to have that in my bracket. I will now have only x squared, and then I'll have plus 2x left, because 36 times 2x will give us this 72. Okay, and that is equal to minus 72. So we can now complete the square on this bracket. So, and to complete the square on the bracket, the coefficient of x squared is already 1. So you are going to now take the second step, which is to add to both sides of the equation the square of the half of the coefficient of x. And what is the coefficient of x here? 2. And what's the half of 2? The half of 2 is 1. So if you now square 1, you are going to now add it to both sides. And now recall that where you will be adding this on the left hand side will be inside the bracket. So by the time I add the square of 1 to the bracket, look at what is going to be. That's going to be plus 1 squared. And 1 squared is actually 1. But now watch what will happen. Ordinarily, what I should add on this other side should also be 1. Now, but that, if I do, will not be correct. Why? Because by the time you open up this bracket, but if this 36, this negative 36 multiplies this one, see this negative 36 here, when it multiplies this one, is going to give us negative 36 added to this the side of the equation. And so for you to balance it on this side, what you will add will not be 1, rather you are going to add the minus of 36. That's actually what will balance the two sides of the equation. Okay, so I hope that is gotten. So now with that, we can now go ahead to now complete our squares in the bracket. So this is going to be y squared minus 36. And so in the bracket, you now gather the squares together. So I have x squared and 1. So that's going to give me x plus 1 all squared. Of course, you know, if you open this bracket, you still get back what we have up. All right, and then on this side, I will simply add what I have. And when you add that, you are going to get negative 108 as the value on the right hand side. So what should I do next? At this point, I have achieved what I want. All I need to do now is to ensure that the value on the right hand side is 1, so that it will look like what we have here. What you have on the right hand side must be 1. So and to achieve that, I need to divide through by this value, which is minus 108. So I'm going to divide by minus 108. Okay, so when you do that, you will see that here is now going to be, of course, minus y squared all over 108, and that will be, of course, minus here cancels minus, you will now, it will change to plus, and 36 will cancel 108 to give us 3. So while on the right hand side you now have 1, because this will also cancel this. So what you will have left here, remember this will now change to plus, and so you now have x plus 1 all squared all over 3 is left here, and that's equal to 1. So we can now choose to rewrite this so that the positive 1 will be in front, and so that's going to give us x plus 1 all squared all over 3, and that is minus y squared all over 108, and is equal to 1. So have you seen actually that the general form of the equation is not actually sufficient to tell us the type of hyperbola that we have? You can see now originally our y squared was in front, and if you use that to judge, it means that we have the up and down hyperbola. But with what we have gotten using the standard form, it means that actually what you have is a left and right open hyperbola, because your x is now in front. And so with that, we can finally now get what we are asked to get. The first thing they asked us to get is the center. So the center of this hyperbola is simply, of course, you take the negative of this, which is minus 1, and then this one has nothing attached to it. That means it is 0. So this is the coordinate of the center. And then the b, they asked us to get the value of a and b. If you go up, so they asked us to get the value of a and b, and a is simply the square root of the denominator of x. So that means our a is the square root of 3, and our b is the square root of the denominator of y, which is the square root of 108. So that's our a and b. So and finally, to get the foci of this, we need to get the c. So our c is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. Always remember that. And our a squared is 3 actually, while our b squared is what you have here, that is 108. Okay, so that means our c is the square root of 109. That is not a perfect square, so we leave it that way. What it means therefore is that our foci is, which is equal to plus or minus c comma 0. So that's going to give us as plus or minus square root of 109 then comma 0, and that is the foci of this particular ellipse. So we've been able to get the ellipse, sorry, the hyperbola in the standard form, and this is what we got here, and this is what we got here. And then we were also able to, from here now, find the value of the center, the coordinate, find the a and b, the vertices, and then we have also gotten the coordinates for the foci. This is all I have for you in this video. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please give a thumbs up to this video if you like it.